house.
Hello guys, Gene here with G Squared Tactical. I would like to say that I was fresh back from the range since you just got to see all of that awesome shooting with my Colt Python Combat Elite 357, even though it does not say on the gun anywhere that it is the Combat Elite. I know that some of the other Combat Elite models did, but this one does not. You're probably thinking, oh, he's fresh back from the range, but I'm not. I'm fresh back from the Gunsmith. So we'll get into that here in just a moment. Just leading into this, I want to say that I'm a little bit butthurt that I have to do this video a lot, actually, because some time ago I went on this little revolver trip where I was wanting to buy a bunch of revolvers. You know, I think I had a Ruger, I had several of the BFR, the 4570, the Magnum Research, you know, 4570, 44 Magnum. And, you know, I bought several Tauruses, of course, and the only revolvers that I kept was the Ruger LCRX, a little it's mostly pocket revolver, if you will, purse revolver. It's a nice gun and practical. It's got more practicality to it, if you will. And I kept my Judge, kind of a snake gun, if you will, my Judge Magnum from Taurus. Haven't had any problems with them. I've always liked the gun, even liked the polymer frame when they did. And I kept a 2-cylinder 9mm 357 swappable Talo edition Taurus, if you will. It's one of our best videos. So I just kept it. But for the most part, I sold all the revolvers I had. And I believe it was in 2020 when Colt reintroduced, they're trying to bring back an old school Anaconda Python type thing with a new age twist on it. And I wanted one. But I thought, here we go again. These big old monster revolvers that for me, you know, a city boy, is not really practical for me. If I buy another one, it'll be a nostalgia thing, become a safe queen. And then I saw this. Now, for me, I only saw this about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I'm not exactly sure when it was released, but I saw it about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I was like, you know what? There could be some practicality with that one. I could find some practical use with it. It's a little bit bigger than your average snub nose, but I can find some practicality with that thing, and man, it looks good. It's a sexy revolver. It's small, fits in your hand, and yes, it's got a little bit of a short grip, but as you can see in the video, it didn't really affect, you know, how the gun performed for me anyway, and my wife shot it as well. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the internals, weights, heights, all of that good stuff and features. We'll kind of leave that for another video. I am going to do another video on that, but I wanted to address something that happened at the range. And as you can see from the video here, very first time that I pulled the hammer back, very first time I went to pull the trigger, this is what happened. So as you can see, the hammer locked back, trigger seized up, it would not pull. The only way I was able to get it loose was to, while holding the hammer, because it had live ammunition in it, which scared the little crap out of me, while I was holding the hammer back here, I would push back. So I would hold the hammer with my index finger, I would push back here on the wheel release, cylinder release button here. I would push it back while I was pulling the trigger, and finally I would get it to release. And what I noticed was, I have snap caps in here now. What I noticed is when it had ammunition in it is the only time that it would do it. I would pull the hammer back, trigger, the hammer would just get stuck. You could feel it. You could actually feel it grabbing when I would pull the hammer back. Now you might say, well, in the video I just watched, you done a lot of pulling the hammer back. Yep, that's right. We had 3 different ammunitions out there, and 2 of them seemed to hang up. One of them seemed like sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. So the videos that I just showed you was the times that it did, and it was flawless. And the Hornady ammunition, it seemed to be fine. It ran it fine. It didn't say, it was still catchy, if you will, the hammer was, but it functioned with the Hornady ammunition. So I brought it home, cleaned it up real good, thought, well, maybe there's something in there, maybe there's something amiss. Yeah, I just cleaned it up real good, maybe it'll be fine, because I was butthurt. Nah, I'm not sending this back. You know, my $1,400 revolver, there's no way I'm sending it back. Like, what the heck, dude? So I put the snap caps in, 357 snap caps, and sure enough, as soon as I pull the hammer back, just seized right up. And so, you know, now obviously you can tell, you can see that it's not doing that. It's doing fine now. But I called a local gunsmith where we are, Hyatt's gun shop in Charlotte, North Carolina, about 30 minutes from where we are. Some of the best gunsmiths around. I talked to a guy over there that I've dealt with a lot. I told him about it, and I said, look, you know, if you guys work with this, it's probably going to mess my warranty up. But again, it's not going to be a gun that I shoot a ton. It was very expensive. I'm sure I'll have to pay to send it back to Colt. I'm not really sure. Could you take a look at it for me and just let me know if it's something simple? Maybe it's something I'm overlooking, something I don't know. Like, just could you take a look at it for me? So he gets it. He removes the side plate, and he comes out there and he said, here's your problem. So he hurt my feelings a little bit by telling me there was quite a bit of the small metal moving parts inside when he took the side cover off inside of this revolver was MIM parts. Now, he defended that. He said, well, everybody does it. If not, the revolver would be $4,000. So don't get your butt hurt and get your panties in a wad because there's some MIM parts in here. But when you do the MIM part thing, sometimes you have what you have here. And I said, okay, well, what do we have here? And what we have is The arm or the pawl, I'm not exactly sure what what Colt calls it. Whether it be the arm or the pawl, it kind of rotates up as the hammer comes back and the cylinder moves. I'm not sure exactly of its function or if its proper name, either PAUL, the pawl, or the arm. It had a little bit too much material on it, and so it was getting hung up. Now, I can't get that integral with you about it. That's why I took it to a gunsmith, right? I just pull triggers and talk about it. But that arm had too much material on it, and he says a lot of times, unfortunately, if QC is bad, those types of things will get passed because, again, it's metal injected. It's a MEM part, essentially. And so he basically took it out. He said the amount that he took off of it was so microscopic that, you know, he just barely took a little bit off of that arm or that paw, put it back in there, put the side cover on, and boom, as you can see here, smooth as silk, no problem, problem solved. Couldn't do that before, and it is fixed now. Now, the reason I said I was going to do a separate video is because I don't want the only video that I do on this gun to be one of bad news. Because here's what's going to happen. I know the haters are going to come out. Oh, you're talking smack about Colt, blah, blah, blah. But then a lot of lovers are probably going to come out, if I'm being honest. Because anytime you say anything bad about a more high-end or high-priced firearm, everybody wants to pat you on the back and tell you how awesome you are. But if you say something negative about a low-end firearm, you know, everybody wants to tell you that you're a piece of crap, you're low life, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot, inbred, and ain't got no teeth. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what'll happen here. But I will say that it was very disappointing to buy this firearm, having wanted it now for several months, getting my hands on it. Absolutely stunning. There were several people saying that the finish was too scratchy, and I can tell you this, every revolver I've ever had, no matter how expensive it was, I've had some Freedom Arms, when you take a picture of it with your phone camera, it looks like it's scratchy. The metal looks like it's cratered, if you will, but it's not. In person, this thing, and I tell everybody, you have to see this gun in person because it looks way, way better in person than it does in picture or in film. It is a beautiful, beautiful firearm, and I personally think the finish is like mirror. I can definitely see the color of my eye and the side of this thing. It is a very beautiful firearm. Seems to be very well made, very well done. You know, accurate enough for me, standing at about 20 yards. The grip here, I don't mind. Again, it wasn't a problem hanging on to. This got some weight on this gun, so it handled the recoil very, very well. So overall, I am pleased with the gun, but I'll talk more about that and more of the features of the gun in a separate video where I'm not saying anything negative about the gun. But for now, it's functioning flawlessly. Man, what a blast to shoot the gun. And I'm glad he was able to fix it. Charged me 30 bucks, totally worth that. Gun is fully functional now. Please stay tuned for a follow-up to this where we'll talk more about the features of the gun and what I did like about it, and show you a few more details with the shooting and the accuracy and things of that nature. Hey, please be sure to go over and check out our website at gsquaredtactical.com. gsquaredtactical.com. We got merchandise on there, hats, shirts, coasters, car coasters, keychains, bottle openers, all of those things, any little thing that you can buy. We make a couple dollars off of each one of them. Helps us to keep doing this, buying camera equipment and cards and ammo and everything else. And so we appreciate your support and your subscriptions and your thumbs up totally, but it takes money to do this. If you go over there and check that out and buy something, tell us what you think, recommend some stuff you might want. We would really, really appreciate it, guys. And remember that God loves you. Hit that thumbs up. Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.